Did you stop? So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you some context instead. I had this whole intro plan, but I'm going to give you some context as to why I'm doing this video. 8 years ago, my daughter was born, and I had been traveling the world. I had been living in different countries, working in different countries, living the life basically. But then 8 years ago, my daughter was born, and when I stood there, held her in my arms for the first time, I just realized that the life I was living was not sustainable. I was not eating healthy. I was not working out enough. I just knew I had to change. Maybe you stopped working out during the pandemic, or you're eating too unhealthy, or you're smoking and you want to kick that habit. In my opinion, the 5-step method that I'm going to walk you through today is amazing, and it's helped me every time I had to break a bad habit. Let's dive into it. Welcome, if you're new to the channel, which I assume you are. My name is Johan Peterson, and I've created this channel to help people grow, people like myself who wants to keep growing and keep developing and becoming better versions of themselves. One of my personal values have always been growth. Growing myself or growing others. This channel will help me with both. So I get to structure my thoughts on different subjects, which is going to be tremendously helpful for my growth. At the same time, I hope it can help some of you get some benefit and value from these videos. We will be jumping a little bit back and forth today between here. I'm about to grab some coffee and inside. So I'm going to give you some context, and then we'll jump inside and I'll give you some more details on the steps that I'm going to talk about how to get rid of bad habits today. So let me walk you through this 5-step method. That's a mesh between stuff I've learned and stuff I've experienced through my life. And this method has helped me break bad habits in the past, and I hope it can help you too, because in my opinion, this is the best way of breaking bad habits. As I mentioned in the intro, I just had this epiphany when my first daughter was born. I just saw myself so clearly in the future, what I wanted to be, that I wanted to be more healthy and a more active dad as she grows older. This brings me to the first step, and that is, which should always be the first step when you want to change something, is to identify your why. So what do you want to change, and why do you want to change it? Self-discipline is taking action despite how you feel. It's putting your feelings aside and just crafting your own path. This will be so much easier if you've clearly identified your why. When I saw myself in the future, I saw myself taking care of myself. I exercised, I ate healthy. It wasn't to the point of obsession, but I still lived a healthy lifestyle. Step 2 is to visualize your future self. Humans will naturally justify old behaviors once we've taken a stand on something. Pressure from yourself or others will cause us to respond in this way. And time is the enemy here. The older the behavior, the harder it's going to be to get rid of. Therefore, it's really important for you to visualize your future self once you've broken the habit. What would this new person do? How would this new person tackle this situation? And another thing is, if this is the new you and this is who you are now, and this is part of you, you no longer have to have this inner debate every time you're conflicted with this habit. As an example, vegans, they don't even have an inner conflict about eating meat because they just don't eat meat. When most people want to break a bad habit, they work from the outcome through process to change the identity. Most people have it backwards. You should do it the other way around. So you want to change your identity, and then through process you change different outcomes. Identify yourself as a healthy person, and you will start eating better, you will start exercising more, and there will be a lot of positive outcomes through the process you put in place. And compare that to doing it backwards, where you say, oh, I have these love handles, I'm gonna start jogging. That, first of all, it's time limited. Second of all, it's not sustainable. You can have goals or milestones along the way for certain outcomes, but the outcomes should never drive your identity. Coffee is my one weakness in life. So it was extremely clear to me that I exercised too little. I ate just about anything, and I didn't think about too much about the future at that point. Step number 3, you want to be real about your current situation, so you better understand the gap you're trying to fill. That will better help you outline an approach that's moderate, trying to fill the gap to your future self. So what I did was I started exercising every Monday, Wednesday and Friday. I started having salad for lunch every day. Every day. I also switched to oatmeal or hard bread every morning for breakfast. And this leads us to the 4th step, which is creating new habits. What you want to make sure, and what's really important, is that the new habits you create align with your new identity. And here's why it's really important not to go all in and try to change things overnight. Let's say you want to live a more healthy life and you go to the gym. You don't want to go to the gym and exercise like the most extreme fitness people. The important thing is that you go to the gym, you create that habit, and that you keep it up over time. Go in with a pace that you feel is sustainable to keep this up forever. Try to make a dent, and then try to keep a positive trajectory for yourself over time. And like I mentioned, you want to avoid time-limited things like a diet. A diet has an end, right? You want to do things that you can keep up for life. One great method to use for this, or to reach any goal, is to use the if-then method, as humans are great at processing if-then instructions. This means you set up a number of if-then statements for yourself. An example could be that if it's morning and it's Monday, Wednesday or Friday, I go to the gym. Another example could be if it's a weekday, then have salad for lunch. Another one could be if I'm in the house, then I don't smoke. And then of course over time you can change your if-then statements to better suit your lifestyle or to match your progress against your goals. You can set some milestones for yourself to reach, and then you celebrate those a little bit extra when you reach them. Whenever I reached a milestone, I awarded myself a fancy dinner or some new cool piece of tech. I'm a tech nerd as I am. I also found this amazing protein shake that I kind of award myself every time I've been to the gym. Step number 5, reward yourself. Giving your kids positive reinforcement, or giving your dog a treat when she sits. Knowing there's a reward on the line is motivating for everybody. When you hit the milestone, or when you do something that you know you've been struggling with for a while, make sure you reward yourself. This does not mean that you cheat though. When you've done something that you're really proud of and you feel, oh, I did this, it's really easy to overcompensate and do something you probably shouldn't. Make sure the reward is in line with your future self, and make sure that it matches the accomplishment. Do not eat a pizza in the weekend just because you went to the gym Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Make sure the reward comes after the accomplishment. Okay, so let's recap. Step number 1, always identify your why. Step number 2, identify your future self. Step number 3, who are you today? Be real with yourself. Step number 4, Create new habits. And finally, step number 5, reward yourself. Don't cheat, but reward yourself. Please let me know down in the comments if you have any please let me know down in the comments if you have any other ideas for topics you want me to cover. And leave a like if you like this video. Thank you. Have a good day.